Dear students, I will be giving a tutorial on Tinkercad. So this Tinkercad you'll be using in your mini project to implement the IoT projects for your microprocessor and computer organization course. You have to implement an IoT project using Tinkercad. So Tinkercad basically it's a simulator used to implement the IoT project. So what do you mean by simulator? So simulator means uh, no need to use any hardware. So there will be some virtual components similar to hardware components. So to using these components, you can make a system to work or you can implement an IoT project. So let's have a look at how actually this Tinkercad works. So in today's tutorial, I will be discussing two examples. So in one example, I will tell how to implement a LED blinking, and in the second example, I will be telling to implement a traffic light controller using this Tinkercad simulator. So let us start with Tinkercad. So basically, Tinkercad it's an online simulator. So you open your Google web page and type Tinkercad and click enter. So you can see the first result, Tinkercad create 3D digital design. So its website is www.tinkercad.com. So click on this link. So once you click on this tinkercad.com, so there are many options if you can see. So click on this sign in. So first time when you are signing in, sign in with a Google account. I hope everyone has Gmail account. So sign in with your Gmail or Google account. So click on one of your Gmail account, and then you will be signed into the Tinkercad. So once you are logged into Tinkercad account, so you can see several options. Left side, if you see, you have 3D design, circuit, code blocks, many options are there. So click on this circuit option. So for IoT projects, you have to implement circuits. So you'll be making use of circuits. So click on the circuits option. Click on this create new circuit. So click on this create new circuit. So once you click on the create new circuit, so you'll be getting a window like this. So once you get a window, so you have to start implementing the IoT project. So we'll, as I told earlier, we'll start with LED Blink project. So like how we have hello world in C program. So in C program, I hope everyone have started with hello world. So that's the basic program with which you'll be taught to implement C programs. So similar to hello world, we have LED Blink. So LED Blink is the basic program that will be taught for the Arduino programming or IoT projects. So for to implement this LED blink project, so in this project, basically we make the LED to blink on and off. That's very simple. So to implement this LED blink project, we'll be making use of Arduino board. So if you see at the right side, you can see my cursor, I hope. So there are many components. So you have to first select the Arduino Uno R3. So you scroll down the right side when you come, there is a scroll pen. If you scroll down, you can see many components. So in that, select Arduino Uno R3. So click on this Arduino Uno R3, bring your cursor here. So here, the Arduino Uno R3 will be placed. So then right click so that it will be placed in a particular position. So using this Arduino, you will be implementing LED Blink project. So for this, we have to write Arduino programming. So don't worry, no need to run the Arduino programming. So in Tinkercad, there is something known as code blocks. So these code blocks helps us to implement the Arduino project even without knowing to write the Arduino programming. Anyway, I will tell what the actual Arduino programming, what the code needs to be written in Arduino programming for the LED Blink project. So that we'll discuss later. Once we have selected Arduino U3, so come to again to the scroll pan at the right side, move up. So you can see a LED here. So click on this LED and place in a particular position. So right click on the mouse. So there the LED gets placed. So you can even select the color of the LED. So there is a color option. So you can select many colors. Anyway, we'll keep it by default red itself. So once you select the LED, there are two pins. One is cathode pin and anode pin. So there are two pins, cathode pin and anode pin. So from cathode pin, you connect it to the ground pin. So if you see on Arduino, there are many pins, TX, RX, pin number 2, 3, 4, then ground pin. So this ground pin GND, to this pin connect your cathode pin. So how to connect? So you have to connect through wire. So in order to connect the ground to the cathode pin, so if you bring your cursor near to cathode pin, you can see a red square. So once you see the red square, right click on it, then the wire appears. Once the wire appears, connect it to the ground GND pin of the Arduino. And again, the red square appears. So right click on it. So your wire gets connected. So again, I will explain. So from the cathode pin, when you place your cursor, there will be a red square coming. So right click on it, then wire appears, then place it to the ground. So drag it to the ground pin, GND pin. Then the red square appears, right click on it, then your cathode pin gets connected to ground pin. So usually when we connect the wire to the ground pin, we differentiate with the black color. So we differentiate the wire with the black color. So here color I will select it as black. So again right click, this option gets disappeared. So now in order to connect anode to the other pins, so this anode pin needs to be connected to what is known as GPIO pins. So here, if you see in the Arduino, there are pin number 0 to 13. So in this pin number 0 and pin number 1, you can't use. So pin number 0 is RX pin and pin number 1 is TX pin. So they are basically used for communication. So other than this pin and the ground pin, pin number 2 to 13, any pin you can select. So let me connect to pin number say 5. So before connecting anode pin to one of the GPIO pins, so these pins 2 to pin number 2 to pin number 13 are called GPIO pins. To any of the GPIO pins, you can connect the anode pin. So let me select the pin number 5. So GPIO pin number 5, I will select for connecting the anode pin. So before connecting to the anode pin, you should place a resistor in between the pin number 5 and the anode pin. So click on the resistor and place it in this position. Right click in this position. Then you'll ask for the resistance. So resistance usually we use is 220 kilo ohm. So type 220 kilo ohm. So here you type 220 in the resistance option, type 220. So by default, it will be 1 kilowatt. So type 220. So that resistor is of 220 kilowatt. So right click again. So the option disappears. Then this anode pin, the square, red square is appearing. So right click on it and again bring it to the resistor. So resistor, bring it near to the resistor pin again. Red square appears. Right click on it. So now connection we have made from the anode pin to resistor. So again from the resistor to pin number 5. So resistor to pin number 5, I will make a connection. So as I told earlier, so place a cursor on the pin of the resistor, red square appears, then right click on it, then wire appears. So drag it to pin number 5. So you can connect to any pin from pin number 2 to pin number 13. So I am selecting pin number 5. So once red square appears on pin number 5, right click on it. Now the wire has been connected. So pin number 5 has been connected to the resistor. So you can no need to even use the resistor. You can directly connect anode pin to pin number 5. But in real time environment, the LEDs may burn out because it can't handle larger current. So basically, we'll be making use of resistance in order to protect the LEDs from burnout. So that's the reason I am using resistors here as well. So now you have completed your connection. Now you are ready for implementing the LED blink project. So in order to implement it, so click on this code option. So if you see at the rightmost part, there are multiple options, code options, start simulation, export, share. So click on this code option. Then by default, it will be appearing like there is an option called blocks. If you see my cursor, there is a blocks option. So if you drop down, if you click on the drop down option, so if you see my cursor, if I click on the drop down option, there is something called blocks plus text. So click on this blocks plus text option. So why we have to click this? Because we have to see how the Arduino programming is being done. So in order to see the code of this particular project, you have to click on the blocks plus text. So once you click on the blocks plus text, so you can see, so these two windows were already there. So along with this window, there is a coding window. So there you can see the Arduino code. So this code is similar to C program code. It's very simple. So basically, for embedded devices, we'll be making use of C programming. So it's almost similar to C programming. These are called embedded C programs. So we'll see how actually we can code also. Before starting coding, so if you see this middle window, there is some blocks. So these are all called code blocks. So set built-in LED to I, then wait 1 second. So you can see my cursor, right? So these are all called code blocks. So this helps in coding. So as I told earlier, you no need to code from the scratch. So these code blocks, if you select and if you place it properly, then you will be able to code the Arduino program. Okay, so now before starting the coding, so you select this particular code block. So if you see my cursor, so there is a hand icon coming. So right click on it. So drag this particular code blocks and put it in the trash bin. So there is a trash bin icon. So if you are able to see this trash bin icon, so you come here to near to this trash bin icon and right click on it. So all the code blocks gets disappeared. So now I have to write the code for LED blinking. So I want the LED to be on for some time and LED to be off for some time. So in order to do that, so I have to make use of this code blocks. So these are all called code blocks. If you see the blue color blocks, so these are all code blocks which helps in coding. So if you see here at the leftmost window, this is the coding window. So there will be two functions. There is a void setup function and void loop function. So this void setup function helps us to define which pin is a output pin and which pin has been initiated as input pin. So output pin means, so if you see this particular circuit, so here GPIO pin is the output pin. So through GPIO pin, we will be sending the commands. So we'll be sending the commands uh, to the LED. So if we send the I command, the LED will be on, and if we send the low command, the LED will be off. So this pin setup function. So in this we will be configuring the pin. So we'll be configuring the pin number 5 in this case to out as output pin. Then we have loop function. So inside the loop function, so I was telling like repeatedly I want the LEDs to be on and off, so that I can do inside the loop function. So inside the loop function I can give the commands for which pin to be sending the I command and which pin to send the low command. So based on that we can make the LEDs to switch on and off. So anyway, we'll come back to that later. So come back to this leftmost window where you can see my cursor. So there are code blocks. So select this code set pin 0 to I. So you can see multiple code blocks: set built-in LED to I, set pin 0 to I, set pin 30 to 0. There are many things are there. So select this set pin 0 to I and drop it here. So as I told earlier, we are using pin number 5 as the output pin. So through the pin number 5, we are sending the commands, high and low commands. So in order to make the LED to glow, LED to be on, we have to set pin number 5 to I. Okay. So in this set pin, so default it will be at pin 0. So select pin number 5. And default it will be set to I itself. So then come to this blocks plus text window. So here you can see multiple option. Currently we are at output. Then there are many options such as control, input, math, notation, variables. So click on this control option. So if you see my cursor carefully, if you look there, I am clicking on the control option. So again, there are multiple code blocks coming. So select this, wait 1 second and drop it here. So drop it just below the set pin 5 to I code block. So basically what it does is, after waiting for 1 second, we can give next set of instruction. So to give next set of instruction, again click on this output option at the blocks plus text window. So if you click on outputs option, you will again get multiple code blocks. So again select this send pin 0 to I and drop it here. So if you see when I am dropping the code block here, code is also getting changed. So once and completed this code block, then I will explain the coding also. Anyway, so here also I will just select the pin number 5. So previously I had set pin number 5 to high. Now I will set pin number 5 to low. So click on this I option and click on low. So when I send the low command through pin number 5, the LEDs will be off. The LED gets off. So again come back to the control and place this wait 1 second block. So this completes our blink LED project. So let us see the Arduino code. So as I told setup function, so in this we have a command called pin mode. So this pin mode function sets the pin number 5 to output. Then we have void loop function. So in this, we will be writing the command. So to make the LED to be on or LED to off, we will be writing the command. So this select. So this in digital write function will be setting the pin number 5 to I. So this code block set pin 5 to I corresponds to this particular code. So whenever I place this particular block and make some changes, then this particular line gets written. So that's why it's very simple. No need to write the Arduino code. So digital write 5 comma I means it will set the pin number 5 to, it will pass the I command to pin number 5. Then wait 1 second I have given. So I will be delaying for 1 second. So here the command is delay 1000. So here 1000 means 1000 milliseconds. We have to pass the parameter in terms of milliseconds. So 1000 millisecond is nothing but it's 1 second. So after waiting for a delay of 1 second or 1000 millisecond, we are passing the command digital write 5 comma low. So now we are passing low command to pin number 5, and again we are calling the delay function. So again, if you increase the wait to 2 seconds, so it will delay function in delay function. So 1000 will become 2000. So that's it. So this completes your code. So let us run the code. So in order to run this code, so first click on this code option. So your all code block and Arduino code sections gets disappeared. So then you can see the circuit. Now click on this start simulation button. So it will say it takes some time to run. So if you see now the code has started, so you can see the LED blinking. So you can see LED blinking. So the LED is on and off. So if you see this LED, it is glowing. So the LED is on and LED is off. So let me change the color so it will be visible properly. So you can see the LED is glowing. So LED is on for 1 second. After 1 second, the LED will be off, and this process continues. So with this, you have implemented the Blink LED project. So it's a simple project to make the LED blink. So after this, let us implement the extended version of LED blink, which is a traffic light controller. So here we have used single LED. So there you will be making use of 3 LEDs. So if you have seen the traffic light signal, so you have 3 colors, right? Red, uh, yellow, and green. So using these 3 colors LEDs, we will implement a traffic light controller project. So before starting that, let me save this project. So in order to save this project, so click on this Tinkercad option. So if you directly close this particular window, your project doesn't get saved. So make sure you save the project. So every time you implement anything, So try to save it in Tinkercad, so in future the same project you can take up and you can work upon it. So click on this Tinkercad option. Now you'll return to the home page. So if you see, my project has got saved. So earlier also I had done some project that had been saved. So along with this, my this particular project which I showed, that also got saved. Okay, once you have saved this, let us move to the second project. So in order to do the second project, so again click on this create new circuit. So click on this create new circuit. So it will take some time to open. Let's wait. Okay. So as I told earlier, it's continuation of the first project. So what are the components required? So we need first important is Arduino Uno R3. So select that and place it. So here you will be requiring a breadboard also. So there is a breadboard small option. So if you scroll down, you will come across breadboard small option. So click on this breadboard small option and drag it here. So you can even like if you see I'm not able to see the complete circuit, even you can minimize the window. So in order to minimize the window, so click on control and minus. Control minus, you keep on pressing minus, your circuits will shrink. The window size will shrink. So now let me start implementing the second project, which is traffic light controller. So here you have this Arduino, you have this breadboard and Arduino board. So using this, let us implement the traffic light controller project. So here you need three LEDs. So click on this LED and place it in any of the position in bread board. So usually place it at top. So we have sufficient place to place the resistors as well. So place it at the top. So I have three. I want three LEDs. So one LED I will place here, red LED, and second LED I will place here, and I will change the color to yellow. And third LED I will place here and I will change the color to green. Okay, after this, let me place the resistor. So place the resistor. So when you are placing resistor, place it parallel to the anode pin. So this is the anode pin, right? I told earlier. So place it parallel to the anode pin. So place one more resistor. Let me just increase the window size. So place one more resistor. So place it parallel to the anode pin of second LED, that is yellow LED. Similarly, place one more resistor. So always try to place in this position itself. So it will be easy for you to wire. So you can, so when you are placing, place it parallelly. So you can place it serially or parallelly. So let us place it parallelly itself. Like parallel pins, you connect the resistors. Okay, once you place the third LED here, third resistor here, so you change the resistor values. All resistor value, the resistance value of all the resistors should be 220 ohm. So click on the resistor and change the resistance value. So after changing the resistance value, now you have to start the connection. So first I will start with the ground connection. So this ground pin, once you see the red square in the ground pin, then right click on it, wire appears, and place this wire to this particular pins. So there is a plus symbol and minus symbol if you carefully observe. So any of the pins you have to connect. So once you connect to this pin, minus pin I have selected. So all of these adjacent pins, all of these adjacent pins will be acting as the ground pin. So why I'm doing like this? Because I have only one ground pin and there are three LEDs. I can't connect all the three cathode pins of three LEDs to the ground pin. So that's the reason I'm creating a common ground pin in this breadboard. So when I connect to a particular pin in this breadboard, so usually the top and at the bottom will be having two separate pins. So basically this is used for connecting the ground pin. So select any of these plus symbol pins or minus symbol pins and connect it to the ground pin. So as I told, this ground, when you connect to ground pin, the white should be changed to black. So change to black. And now connect the cathode pin of all the LEDs to the pin adjacent to the ground pin. So once you connect, change it to black. So, so let me show. So you can connect like this. So here also the pins which are parallel to cathode. So that can be connected to the pins adjacent to ground pin. So change the color to black. So similarly, the pins which are parallel to cathode. So select one of the pins and once you get the red square, you right click on it and connect it to the pins adjacent to the ground pin. So any pin adjacent to the ground pin and change the color to black. So similarly do it for the third LED. Now let us connect the anode pin. So to connect the anode pin, the pins adjacent to parallel to anode, all pin which is parallel to the anode, you can select and connect it to the one pin above the resistor. So you can directly connect to resistor or connect one pin above the resistor also. Anything is fine. So after that, you connect one pin below the resistor and from there you drag the wire to one of the GPIO pins. So any pin between 2 to 14 you can select. So I will select pin number 11 to connect the anode pin of the red LED via resistor. So similarly I will do it for remaining two pins. So any pin which is parallel to anode pin, so select that pin. Once a red square appears, right click on it, and once the wire appears, place it just one pin above the resistor, or you can directly connect to resistor also, anything is fine. So after and from the below pin of the resistor or one pin below resistor, you select. Once red square appears, right click and you drag the wire to one of the GPIO pins. So here I will select pin number 8. So you can select any pin from pin number 2 to pin number 13. So it's your option. So don't select same pin. Try to select different pin. So already I have used pin number 11. Don't select that. So select any other pin. So I will select pin number 8. So similarly, I will do it for the third pin also. Sorry, third LED also. So I will connect the anode pin of third LED via resistor to pin number, say pin number 4. So this completes my circuit. So once circuit is completed, so let me write the code. So as I told earlier, to write the code, code. So click on this code section. So leftmost window, blocks option is there. Click on blocks plus text. So you have to write a new code, totally new code. So select this code blocks. So click right click on the cursor on the code blocks and drag it to the trash bin. So the code disappears. Now write a new code. So while writing the new code, so I have three LEDs connected to three GPIO pins. So click on this set pin 0 to I and place this particular code block. So again, same code block you select and drop because three GPIO pins I am using. So three code blocks I will use. So first I want to make the red LED to be on. So in order to make the red LED to be on, to which pin number I have connected. So this red LED anode pin of red LED is connected to pin number 11. So I have to, so there are three pins, pin number 11, pin number 8 and pin number 4. So I will first select these pins. So pin number 11, 8 and 4. So again come back to code. So set pin number 11, 8 and 4. So let me just cross verify. So pin number 11, 8 and 4. Yeah, it's correct. So after this, I want only the red LED to be on. So to red LED to be on, I have to pass I command to pin number 11. So remaining pins, I will be passing the low command. So the remaining two LEDs will be off. So you have seen no in traffic light controller, only one light will be on, remaining two will be off. So for that reason, I will be setting other pins to low command. So then click on this control option. So in the next interval, I want the yellow LED to be on. So in order to make the LED to be on, so again I will place I. So again select three pins 11, 8 and 4. And now I want the yellow LED to be on. So for that only the 8 pin, the anode pin of the yellow LED is connected to pin number 8. So that only I will set it to high and remaining pin I will set it to low. So then click on this control option and click on this white block and place it here. So you can even drag down the cursor so that there is sufficient space in the code block window. Anyway, we'll again return back to the output option and again I will place set pin 0 to I code blocks. So three set pin 0 to I code blocks I will place. So again I will select pin number 11, 8 and 14. So pin number 11, 8 and 4. So pin number 11, 8 and 4 I will select. Then I have to make the green LED to be on and other LEDs to be off. So the green LED, the anode pin of green LED is connected to pin number 4. So that pin number 4 only I will keep high, and remaining pins I will keep it low. So pin number 8 you set it to low, and pin number 11 also set it to low. Only pin number 4 should be set to high. So again come back to control and place this wait code block. So you can vary the seconds also. So you can do that. So now the code has been completed. So here also you can see the Arduino code. So even you can export this Arduino code. So this download button, sorry, if you select on this download button, yeah, you can see my Arduino code has been downloaded. So with this, you will be able to run the you can directly put this command to the Arduino board, and you'll be right. You can run the application. So for the running the application, you have to make all the connections I had shown earlier. To appropriate pins, you have to connect the anode pins, and ground connection needs to be proper, and all the pins needs to be connected to the resistors properly. So once it is done to the Arduino, Uno R3 board, you can port this code, you can burn this code and make the application to run. Okay, so let us go back to the simulation. So click on this code option. So the code disappears. Now you will return to the return back to the circuit window. So now I have to see the simulation. So I have to see how the simulation works. So we will see how the LEDs will glow, how the traffic light controller has been implemented. To see that, click on this start simulation option. Okay, so let me enlarge this window so that you will be able to see. So you can see red LED is now red LED is on, then yellow, then green LED is on. So if you put more weight interval, you'll be able to see. So let me increase the weight. So let me keep it 5 seconds, each one of them. And start simulation. So you can see red LED is on now. Then yellow LED is on. Then green LED is on, and this process repeats. So this is how you'll be implementing a traffic light controller project using Tinkercad application. So one application I have shown. So there are many IoT projects you can implement. So there are many components that you can see here. There are many sensors. There are many components. So using this, there is temperature sensor, the ultrasonic sensor. So using these sensors, you can implement many projects. So you can implement a home automation project, a burglar alarm project. You can implement weather monitoring station project. So lot of projects you can implement. So for your mini project, you have to implement one of the IoT application oriented project and submit to us. So thank you for listening to the tutorial. Uh, so before ending this tutorial, so as I again told earlier, so click on this Tinkercad, so your project gets saved. So once you save the project, you can close the Tinkercad window. So with this, I hope you have been able to understand how to implement the IoT projects using Tinkercad. So start practicing it and select a project and start working on it. So don't wait till last moment. So now itself, once after you have seen this tutorial, start working on the project. So by the time when we ask for submission, you would be ready with the project submission. Thank you for listening.